mercy of Allah, that we are in really, really good shape. When Meech and them case went in the toilet, they indicted me on 2 homicides. They panicked and they indicted me on 2 homicides based on my co-defendant statements. So I had to plead. I had to plead to 27 years. When Meech and them case went in the toilet, they indicted me on 2 homicides. They panicked and they indicted me on 2 homicides based on my co-defendant statements. So I had to plead. I had to plead to 27 years. When Meech and them case went in the toilet, they indicted me on 2 homicides. They panicked and they indicted me on 2 homicides based on my co-defendant statements. So I had to plead. I had to plead to 27 years. When Meech and them case went in the toilet, they indicted me on 2 homicides. They panicked and they indicted me on 2 homicides based on my co-defendant statements. So I had to plead. I had to plead to 27 years.
Welcome back to the podcast. Beloved, this is indeed your brother Big VJ checking in. Today's conversation, we're going to talk about the mentally dead. Right? We're going to talk about the 85%, the deaf, dumb, and blind of our people coming out of our villages who took to the position of being a white man's lieutenant. And it did not work out in their favor, right? So we're going to talk about our brother Cuffy. We're going to talk about Big Meech, because Big Meech just got released. We're going to talk about Southwest T and Tammy, and we may even talk about Blue Da Vinci and maybe even J-Bo, right? You know, Big Meech had been trending because his release from prison, right? And if you don't know, right, you've been living underneath a rock. Big Meech is the co-founder of BMF, right? Along with his brother T. And BMF means Black Mafia Family to some, blowing money fast to others. But it's starting to look like BMF means Big Mouth Family, right? Because every time you look up, you see a member from BMF. They on Vlad. They're doing interviews. Man, Vlad got about 15 BMF members on his platform, just talking. And all you see is, you know, like I say, it look like it's the Big Mouth Family, right? You see Cuffy, he calling in from jail. Now he's talking. But to that, we're going to say this, right? Beloved, there's no honor in the streets. This is a teachable moment for the youth, for young men to see that, again, there's no honor in the streets. We're not guineas. We're not mixed. And we are not Jaimes. We are the original people of the planet Earth. We're righteous by nature. So it's okay, beloved, to be your own and just accept yourself. It's not going to work. We just going to have a conversation today about black men trying to live street culture, but the street culture was invented by Guineas, Mix, and Jaimes. So they set all the rules for street culture. They got the bloodline for street culture. Many of these crime families, beloved, especially these Guineas, it go back 8, 9, 10 generations. Listen now, of crime families, going sometime all the way back to the 1200s when you start talking about guineas. Meaning they're producing children generation after generation after generation to do wickedness. And you're trying to compete and be like them. But that's not in your bloodline. That's not you. That's not who you are. Accept your own and be your own self. I'm listening to this brother Cuffy, right? He's calling from jail. He's been doing this shit for like the last 2 years. And everything is Meech and Tammy worked against me and they got me locked up in jail and this and that. And he's talking like he's a minister. He was out doing God's work, loving on the village, loving on the black community, loving on black people. And Meech and Tammy derailed him from shedding all this love in St. Louis, right? The murder capital of this country. And he's talking like somebody just wronged him, as if the streets supposed to show him this abundance of love. And come on, man, this guy's a man of a certain age too. You know, so we're gonna read about some things that's going on in the village. And we're gonna talk about some confidential informants. We're gonna talk about some potential television series, because when you start to read about this sister named Tammy, who's an informant who hangs out with Meech, and we're gonna have to go over a timeline. Beloved, it looks like that 32-page document, it looked like, man, you could make a series out of that called The Informant. And it'd be interesting and everybody will watch. All right, so we got some questions. Let's see what the United States Attorney's Office has to say about our brother Cuffy. It's a press release we're going to read. The headline says, Ring leader pleads guilty to drugs and murder charges, right? Because the brother's talking about somebody hitting with a third-party cooperation. So we're going to even shift gears and read what that is, and what must one do to even qualify for third-party cooperation. What is that? Because it's a federal guideline that you got to qualify to even do that. St. Louis, Missouri, Donnie Lamont Gatling, aka Cuffy, 53 years old, St. Louis, Missouri, pled guilty to various drug trafficking charges and the use of firearms resulting in death, right? This is a plea that this man put in place in 2019, right? Now, he's saying Meech got him wrapped up and got him put in jail. But then he double talks, because out of his own mouth, the brother come back and say, see, he had some other cats on the case with him. You know what I mean? They all got in, everybody got roped up together. So you got Timothy Lamont Rush on there with him, Andre Rush, and then you got Lorenzo Gibbs. And you can kind of look at who got what time and who did what. Tim and Lorenzo got 15 years, right? Andre got 25 and Cuffy got 27 years. Now, this is how dog really got, because everybody making statements, everybody taking different pleas, and they doing this, and that's how he got jammed up. This got nothing to do with Meech and Tammy. Now, they could have, Tammy, what it looks like, and we're going to read that later, look like Tammy got the ball rolling, but in the same time, you really can't even say that, because check it out. See, what Cuffy is doing is he's putting bits and pieces of what he got going on out. This is his second time being locked up. So we're going to read what he got going on, and we're going to ask ourselves some questions, right? We're going to ask ourselves some questions. But this is his second rodeo. See, Cuff already been down. He been down 10 already. He got locked up in 95. He got out in 2003, right? You can go do the research on that. We may even read about that case. So when he get out in 03, he get back in the game, as it looks like. Because in 2007, you see his name pop back up on some other dope boys paperwork, right? In 2007, he's on the Gregory Griggs and Brian Collins case. And in that case, the informant said that they specifically bought dope from Cuffy. They specifically went to him and bought dope, and somehow he didn't even end up in jail off that. I don't know how he beat that. Everybody on that case didn't walk. He's walking. So we just, because this is what happened when somebody's out throwing a rock. Hey, this guy did this and that to me. Like, I'm like, well, we got some questions for you because you got some sketchy shit on your joint. Because everybody want to play the ultimate Guinea and Jaime and Mick, and you never be good at it. Gatling pled guilty to the following charges. Conspiracy, first charge. Conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine. Charge number 1. Charge number 2. Conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute 1 kilo or more of heroin. All right. Charge number 3. Attempt to possess with intent to distribute 1 kilogram or more of heroin. Charge number 4. Attempt to possess with the intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more cocaine. So all they doing is this. He got caught with the bricks and he had intent to distribute. So they break up the charges like that. But then here's the kicker. Charge number 5. Possession of 1 or more firearms in furtherance of drug trafficking crime with deaths resulting. Okay, you backtrack. It's 2 bodies that pop up and they put them on dog. You got 5 charges. And then what does this say? I'm going to highlight it. Because Cuffy's out there. He was in the ministry doing God's work out there in St. Louis. And look, Meech and Tammy got together and put the folks on him, and he can no longer do God's work. Each of the charges includes a penalty of not less than 10 years imprisonment up to life, with the firearms offense required by law to run consecutively to the drug trafficking charges. All that means this, because we see later that Cuff got 27 years on his second go around, right? Okay, that highlighted portion is saying each charge, and he has 5. Each charge has a penalty no less than a dime a piece. So Cuffy, beloved, should have been looking at 50 years to life. And he walks away with 27 years. Now, I got questions about that because they playing the Guinea and the Mick and the Jaime gang. How does that happen on your second go around? How does that happen? You blame Meech for that? You blaming Meech for Meech put that on you, dog. And you was already underneath surveillance since 2007. Listen, you were already underneath surveillance since 2007. Because again, beloved, this is public record. You're on the Gregory Griggs and the Brian Collins case. Your name is in them folks' paperwork. What is this third party? Let's take a look at what is the third party cooperation. Let's take a look at that real quick, right? Because the streets ain't no place for the black man. You know what I'm saying? It's on accept your own and be yourself. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what we got with that.
Tammy was my shorty, bro, in 03. Like, if you go look at the Shit Ain't Safe No More mixtape cover that I did, I was sitting on a Kawasaki 900. She bought me that, Tammy.
All right, beloved, we got something pulled up. This is from Jeremy Gordon, federal defense attorney. We're going to talk about third-party cooperation, and we're going to see if Big Meech qualified to be a third-party co-op snitch, or somebody in your family, do they qualify for the federal safety valve? And this is Title 18 United States Code, Section 3553 Echo. And again, beloved, we're saying this though. Ultimately, this is the message. We're not guineas, and we are not mixed, and we are not Jaimes. That's why they call it the judicial system, because it's the Jaime that's going to sit on the bench. And when you look at all the federal, all the agents and all that, many of them are just mixed. And then you, as an original man, is imitating the guineas. So it's really a sophisticated mousetrap. Man, dig that, right? The feds, and you're chasing federal notes, and then you end up in the feds, and then you beg to get out because somebody wrongs you and this and that and the third, and we play it. It's if our people can't do nothing, they're gonna be victims. If they can't do nothing, it would have been nice to see a black man, right, our brother Cuffy, say, hey man, you know what? I'ma just sit in here, man. I've been fucking up the hood all my life, and man, I've been doing some fuck shit. I got bodies and shit attached to my name, man. I'ma just sit still and just, hey man. So to all the youth, no, he's talking about, man, we trying to get our freedom. I want to be home with my family and this and that and the third. I'm like, dog, come on, beloved, what are we talking about? A person may be able to cooperate in order to receive relief under the safety valve provision of 18 USC 3553 Echo. The safety valve is a particular area of importance as it is a way to receive reductions below mandatory minimum sentences. This allows offenders to receive reductions in a sentence as long as the offender does not have more than 4 criminal history points. Do FLENORY qualify for that? The offender does not have a prior 3-point offense, and the offender does not have a prior 2-point offense as determined by the sentencing guidelines. The offender did not use violence, credible threats of violence, did not possess a firearm, and did not induce another person to possess a firearm. The accused crime did not result in the death or serious bodily injury to any person. The offender has truthfully provided all information and evidence that the offender has concerning the offense that were part of the same course of conduct or out of a common scheme or plan before or at the time of the sentencing hearing. Now let's stop. Does anybody sound like they just, because we floating this word around, third party cooperate, third party, okay. Think about any case, not just this case, any case you can think of. Does this sound like the qualifications of the people we talking about in this case, or they don't seem like they qualify for this? Because when they let dude out, this gonna be on his, if you took a safety valve, they're gonna have to put that on your paperwork. We would have seen that on your Joan. That ain't on Holmes Joan. Oh, but what happened is this, because this is the story now. See, Dog, you know what I'm saying, and Shorty was working together to wrap them up to get him home early, right? All right, so now we have to talk common sense. Right? It's a cat from BMF. His name is J-Bo. And J-Bo was from St. Louis. Right? Alright. Junior Boss is the underboss to Meech. Now, word on the street was this. See, at first it was T and Meech, and they rocking and they rolling. And then it became a time where T and Meech ain't really rolling together. It's because it's like, T doing something funny with the bricks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, he's just doing some double dutch on it. You know what I mean? So, okay, what you see now is Meech move off and kind of do his own thing from his own brother. But the guy that's running the show is J-Bo. Now, BMF is really this. Check it out, because it's get a whole lot of Detroit this and Detroit that. Yeah, kinda, right? It's kinda some Southwest shit, Okay, we get that part. Really, when you're from the city, them niggas over there by E-Course, but that's a different story for a different day. It's Detroit and St. Louis niggas moving together. So you see the underboss is J-Bo. He's from St. Louis. Now, I don't know if you know how regular street activity works, because it kind of works like this in the dope boy world. You start off getting money in your neighborhood, and then they know you on your side of town. And then you start moving around and they know you in the city. And then if you go OT, you a different kind of nigga. You getting real money then, because you getting out of town money, right? I not my dig now. I say all that to say this. See, J-Bo was a St. Louis dude. This would have meant that Cuffy is a St. Louis dude. That means J-Bo couldn't go back home. Because if you from St. Louis and you running around with a dude from Detroit that got a cat from St. Louis locked up, the street's gonna always look at you funny. You can't come back home. But the fact that J-Bo is good at home, that says a lot about everything. I don't care how things, check it out, let me say it this way. I don't care how shit is moving. If I'm in a game and I got put on in a game by a nigga from Harlem and I'm the number 2 guy and the nigga from Harlem is the number 1 guy, but it's another nigga getting money out of Detroit, you understand? And just so happened the word is this nigga from Harlem spit some wicked wild shit to get my man from Detroit wrapped up, my city be looking at me, because they'd be like, dog, how could you run around with dog that got dog locked up? That shit don't happen like that. I couldn't fuck with dog no more. But the fact that J-Bo and Meech are still in pocket, that tells you everything that you need to know. Like, man, that shit ain't like it tells you everything you need to know. All right, let's take a look at Tammy real quick. Let's take a look at the informant. Let's go over timeline. See, can we knock that out real quick?
Tammy was my bitch in 03, my nigga. Okay? That lady slept with me. My nigga, not with Demetrius, not with J-Bo, not with none of these other niggas. Okay? That was my little older broad, and she wasn't no rat. None of that shit. Bitch was buying me Kawasaki 900 motorcycles, nigga. All right? When I stayed in Doraville, Georgia, nigga, with jacuzzis inside of my house, with Olympic-sized swimming pools outside, and no Big Meech did not live there. Okay, let's be fucking clear. We gonna be clear as fuck tonight. We finna get this shit out here, nigga, for real. Niggas all this protecting and all this motherfucking, this is the homie. Fuck all that. I love Meech too. But what's right is right, and what's fucking wrong is wrong, nigga. Period.
I'm hoping everybody can see this. Maybe I need to, if I blow it up, can you see it better if I blow it up? We're gonna take a quick look at a case. It's called the United States of America versus Gregory Griggs and Brian Collins, right? And this is a case out of Missouri. And let's see, I'm gonna go down. I think I'm gonna work it down at page 5. If I get to page 5, I should be straight. Let me see if I can skip there and go right to it. All right, check it out. Because this is something very interesting that Cuffy is not talking about. Again, he's saying that it's some third-party cooperation. So we read what that was. You know, you can make your own determination who fits and who qualifies for that. But I just want to read a little bit from this case and see what is what from here. I post the link up so you can check it out in its entirety. But again, I'm scrolling back up. It is it's the feds against Gregory Griggs and Brian Collins, and we're going down the page. I want to say we're going to check out page 5. Right, and this is all about St. Louis activity. And this is the first time we see, or I seen Cuffy name pop up on paperwork. Because, see, what he was doing was this. He was saying this. When it came to him and Meech, Cuffy was saying, well, why does he see Demetrius' name on his paperwork? He's like, Meech already been locked up and this, that, and the third. And then he gives an example why he calls it third-party cooperation. He goes down the street of Tammy is working together with Meech to do a third-party co-op to get Meech time short and get dog jammed up. But they really wanted a Mexican kid first, right? All right, so the timeline really is really going like this. This is how the timeline is really rocking. Meech get arrested in 2005. You know what I'm saying? He was sentenced to a 30 piece. You know what I mean? So if we did the quick math standing on our feet, we know that a 30 piece, a whole 30 ball, but you know, they only do 85% of the feds. The 30 ball is pretty much more like 25 change. So when you look at Meech's release date, they had dog going in like 2005, and his release date was going to be January 27th, 2026, right? Because then they go out to this re-entry kind of like program. Same thing T got. Like he got out and he got this release date of August 17th, 2025. They go into this re-entry program. T stayed at the crib. He had a re-entry program in the city right here in Detroit. But Meech is in Miami. Okay, but let me get back to the timeline. So you got Meech at 2005, right? Then you got Blue. Blue go to jail in 2008. He get back home in 2013. Everything that Cuffy is talking about, it transpired in March. The people got put on him in March, right? Okay, so just keep in mind that a superseding indictment was found in 2015 that Gatling, he's 47 in. Him and Rush, who was at 50 at the time, he's 50 years old, they was involved in 2 murders, right? So we ain't talking about young niggas that just went in the game, got them some money, and just try to do a better way for themselves, try to do something legal. And I estimate what it's kind of looking like to us, and maybe we're reading everything wrong, because we just talking to have a conversation. But it's looking to us like these niggas wanted to be career dope boys. Like they don't have no plan B, they ain't got no plan C, D, E, F, G. This is just get money, and this is what it is. Now, when we go back and read what Cuffy is talking about, the thing about that is kind of, you know, with Tammy and all that is, well, if what he's saying is true, Meech could have got hit with a 21 USC 848, which means he could have got put on with continuation of a criminal enterprise and could have got fucked and never came home. Like just been out there for real. But we're going to talk about that later. But the timeline is Meech got jammed up in 2005. Tammy, who's the informant, she get the life rights. So you see the first professional joint she put out was in 2012. It was like some drug, this and that. It's about BMF. Some drug, this and that. That's when she got the life rights. And then you see from there what it looks like is the biggest era to me. This is how it looks like everything is shaping up. It looks like when Meech put her as when he gave her his life rights, I feel like what Meech dropped the ball at was he didn't give 2 different point of contacts. He should have gave a street contact. Okay, you go through this person for the street shit, but then when you come for the business shit to talk about my life rights and movies and this, you go through Tammy. That's what I feel like Meech dropped the ball at. But you have to think like, okay, his number 2, J-Bo, was gone too. So he don't have nobody else to step into that role, not for real. So he just went with Tammy. Now, if you kind of look at Tammy's background, you would think to yourself, but damn, pussy control everything. Cause I don't know, it looked like she's fucking. She's throwing that pussy around a little bit, and she's kind of slick, and she looks like the kind of broad that dope boys go for. To me. Cause if you kind of watch dope boys, they don't go for the stripper type. They don't go for the badass stripper. They'll fuck them, but they don't go for them. They always end up with the bad built bitch that's kind of like articulate. She's a schoolgirl. She know how to put words together. They kind of go for that kind of broad. It's like all the time, like they don't go for the, I mean, look at the guys that's in hip hop that is the representation of being a dope boy. You know, you got Yo Gotti from Memphis, but he's running around with a shorty that came out of a upper class family. She come from she's a Simmons. You know what I'm saying? She don't know what a broke day. She don't know how much. That girl, Angela, don't know how much the price of milk is. She don't know. Her family been rich since she was born. She got a rich daddy, rich uncles. They got a whole different kind of joint. She She don't go to these fancy schools, but that's the kind of, she talk all proper, but that's what the typical dope boy do. He fuck the stripper kind of like type, but they go marry the Angelas and they get with the what's the chick that Jeezy married? He's the king of the strip club. He throwing 30,000-40,000, but he gonna marry a yellow seed. He go get Jenny. Like that's how that works. That's how like Jay-Z got the country girl from Texas that come from the good family. He from the projects, and he get the girl from the, even though we know Beyonce is a mega star, but if you take off that whole thing, that girl she come from a privileged background in Texas. She don't got no, she come from a real family. They making money the whole nine. So it's like so I say all that to say this. Tammy fits that kind of like joint. She could speak well, blase, blase. But I felt like she should have never been in the position where street niggas is talking to her about other shit. But because she got the life rights and they looking at the mob and they looking at Meech as the head, they looking at Shorty like, okay, if she control, if Dog is trusting her with the life rights, he got to be trusting her with some other shit. So they calling her, she's a point of contact now. But she's a rat. She's a rat. We're going to read about it. And it looked like, according to the timeline, Meech don't figure out she's a rat until March 2015. This is when he figured it out. Because when they filed the court proceedings now, and them boys in St. Louis and in Atlanta and everybody else can read, they don't know who's CS1 is. They don't know. But when you start looking at, even though it's blocked out, you know what you did with certain people. And when they say CS1 got the life rights of BMF Entertainment and Meech's life story and all that, oh, that's Tammy. So now you start to go all the way back. Damn, she was the one. But how could Dog don't know this? We talking about the chairman. We talking about Meech. Meech sitting in the cell. He don't know this. Tammy is a broad that Blue brought around. This how she got it. She was around Blue. She was throwing that pussy around. Because it's like she was around Blue. And then you see she fucking with Terry, right? Pardon me, I think I said his name wrong. Terry White. She fucking with Dog. And then she fucking with one of the and we're gonna read about that. She throwing that pussy to one of the federal agents out there in Atlanta. And then on top of all that, Shorty got a husband. Shorty got a husband on top of all that. And then that come out when they get in some type of domestic situation. You know what I'm saying? About this, that, and the third. So when Blue Da Vinci came out and he threw some paperwork out and said, yo, this show how Meech is a snitch. Shit, you read the paperwork, it's like, oh, they don't say nothing about Dog being a snitch. What he's liable for is fucking with a rat, but what could he do? They make up this illusion almost like just because you a street nigga, you can't get played too. That's the illusion. That's just because you a street guy, you don't get played. You know everything. You know how you make every move. All your decisions is calculated, and you're some, nah, street niggas get played on too. And it looked like when we go and read what Cuffy is talking about, Shorty just played on everybody, but she was a confidential informant for money. She wasn't doing it. She was getting paid. And it was two snitches. Both was female, but you can only figure out who Tammy is. You can't figure out who the other female is. So the other snitch, she go off into the sunset. All right, let's take a look at this case. Page 5. We in St. Louis. And we're going to talk about the first time we see Cuffy name pop up. Page 5, right? We're going to put the link on it so everybody can check it out themselves. In connection with their investigation, DEA Task Force Agent John Wallace filed an affidavit in support of an application for interception of wire communications occurring over a cell phone number, blah, 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 blah. We don't need none of that. And it's for Erlene Ernest and believed to be utilized by Eric Ernest. The application requests the interception of wire communications of Eric Ernest, and what that name say? Dionne Gatling, Sammy Jefferson, Vincent Pam, Lorenzo Gibbs. Who was that? That's the dude that got busted with Cuffy later. Lorenzo, Pierre Starks, Royce Davenport, Karaoke, blah, 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 blah. Now, here go the part that go down that I was like, damn, this is crazy. The application affidavit established probable cause for the interception, and defendant Griggs has not asserted otherwise. As such, the probable cause in support of the application will be summarized only briefly. As set forth in the affidavit, at the time of the first application, the agents were investigating a drug trafficking organization believed to be headed locally by Dionne Gatling, that's Cuffy. The organization was believed to have strong ties with Black Mafia family and nationwide street gang entrenched in several cities, including Atlanta, Detroit, Houston, and LA. The investigation showed that the organization in St. Louis was engaged in trafficking a voluminous amounts of cocaine to a lesser degree in marijuana. Dionne Gatling was alleged associate, if not a member of who? The BMF drug trafficking organization. All right, they already know that in 2000. Okay, so let's keep going. One cooperating source. This is the shit that I was like, what in the fuck? Can you see it? I had to highlight it. One cooperating source advised that between November 2003 and February 2005, that source alone purchased approximately 1,200 kilograms of cocaine from Dionne Gatling and at an estimated cost of $24 million. All right, let's stop. Because Cuffy ain't talking about that. We know why the wiretaps did not work in this St. Louis situation, because they said Cuffy was smart. He'd get a new phone every month. He throw the old one away. He had a good system. He'd talk on one joint. He has a few guys say he throw that motherfucker away, he get another. But this is the thing that caught my attention right here. I'm like, damn, this dude he's pretty lucky. Even though he's walking away right now with 27 years, and he may, lose his life in prison. I'm talking about like he gets so old he can't even get out. How do a guy, this is on the paperwork, that a cooperating source, that's a snitch. This is the CI. This is an informant. In 2003 and February 2005, that's a big number. That's 2 years straight. Listen, the source telling the feds they went to Cuffy for 2 years straight and was just buying work from dog. And he walked away from that? He walked. How did he get away from that? Man, that's kind of interesting to me. I don't know, we talking on the podcast, but like we ain't in the streets. We don't know. Maybe a street guy who got the rules and the regulations of the Guinea code, because you don't got that real code. You're a black man. But if you think you got that code, call us in, or chat us in, or comment us in, or put us in the loop of what's going on with that. How does that happen? Because we thought that when some cats get busted and an informant say, well, yeah, I bought some from him too, I thought he get busted too. How do the guy that say, I don't even know how that worked. Now let's take a look at the Atlanta Joan, right? Let's get off this and let's go to Atlanta. Let's go to what Cuffy is talking about. Let's do that.
Tammy was my shorty, bro, in 03. Like, if you go look at the Shit Ain't Safe No More mixtape cover that I did, I was sitting on a Kawasaki 900. She bought me that, Tammy.
All right, so look, I'm gonna see can I get this all the way to, I think that may be too big. We're gonna do a little bit about Atlanta. We're talking about Cuffy. This is what he said the third party cooperation is about. Meech and Tammy working together to get dog off the street. So, this affidavit is grouped into 5 categories, and we're gonna read all 5. And then we just gonna ask ourselves some questions. You know what I mean? With Meech being out, y'all, it always to me go back to a timeline. Shorty, we talking about Tammy, already had the life rights. The first time you see Shorty come around, Blue bring her around though. She's nowhere around the mob until Blue brings her around, right? And then the first time that she became a rat, it looks like it was after Blue stopped dealing with Shorty, because it looked like Blue stopped dealing with, according to him, he stopped dealing with Shorty right around 2007 when he went to prison. And she was running around with a dude named Terry White in 2009, and he was playing on the top. He was money laundering through her, and she didn't know. And when she figured it out, you know, she told. And when she told, this is when the government gave her a check. And now, boom, she's been on the payroll ever since. She got flipped. Now, in that time, between time, somewhere around there, her husband passed away. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dog passed away on a motorcycle accident. And this is why I'm believing Tammy, things got financially different for her. All right, but maybe all that different story for a different day. We just kicking, we reading paperwork, we chilling, right? All right, we back on Cuffy. We got some paperwork. This is the paperwork they've been floating around. Look. Did you see Meech is a snitch? Man, you read the whole thing. And the only thing you come out a conclusion of that shit, this should make a good series. This should be the next Stars series, and it should be called The Informant. And Tammy can get a cute little chick from New York City or Detroit or Cleveland to play her and show her fucking with these dope boys, and she can make a 5. Listen, check it out. You know, man. Shout out to my brother D Brown. My brother D Brown is a producer. He's making films. He got a lot of joints on Tubi, and this is what it is. But dog, this is a good series for Peacock, Stars. I put this shit on, not Netflix. Netflix had too much cracker shit on that. This would be The Informant. If you are a budding producer or writer, lock in on this and make a series about this, because it looks like when we get to reading this shit, it kind of sounds a little bit like Ghost and ASI Valdez. And remember, Valdez, she was fucking the other agent, I forget dog name, and then it kind of sounded a lot like that, but maybe, you know. All right, so let's just take a look, see what we got. The facts that form the basis for the wiretap authorization were set out in the affidavit and can be roughly grouped into 5 categories. First, the affidavit asserted facts regarding the events on August the 5th, 2012, which triggered the investigation. Namely, the affidavit asserted that on August 5th, 2012, a confidential source being utilized by DEA Atlanta CS1 alerted DEA Atlanta agents to a suspected drug transaction occurring in St. Louis between suspected source of supply, Fidel Suarez, and defendant Cuffy, DG. Specifically, CS1 advised DEA Atlanta agents that she, right, was contracted by Suarez. So check it out. Since we all know who the she is, when I see CS1 a lot of times, beloved, you're just going to see me replace the CS1 with Tammy. All right? Okay, cool. So we can just keep it flow. Suarez was having trouble reaching Gatling, and he asked Tammy for help. In attempting to help Suarez get in contact with Gatling, Tammy had a flurry of calls with Gatling and Suarez. Tammy was ultimately successful in connecting Suarez and Gatling, who was using the telephone that became the target of a wiretap. All right, but we already know from St. Louis, you ain't gonna catch Cuff on a wiretap. He a gangster, right? He playing Guinea really well. He playing Mick really well, right? He playing Jaime really well. So you would see that everything that Tammy worked for went to naught, but them folks was paying her. She was scheming. She was scheming. She probably would have never thought in her wildest dreams she would have talked Meech into putting the life rights in her hand. So when the life rights is in her hand, she's moving, because niggas is calling her about street business now, because they think she represent Meech and everything. So with Meech even running some things through her, like, well, shit, tell this dude to do this, he put into play, but now her invested interest now is protecting Meech, because that life rights thing gonna make her some bread too. She gonna get some paper off that too. So Meech is the big fish. She playing, to me, this is what I look like. Man, she playing on all these niggas. This is what it look like to me. She's playing on all these niggas' tops. She already been a rat. She read it against Terry White. She got some paper for that. Now she's a go-between, and now she get a little bit more deeper. She like, damn, she can get a check. She knows that she can get a check from that, because, beloved, the way energy work, greed breeds greed. See, when you got that vibration of being greedy, Fidel, when you got that vibration of being greedy, Meech, when you got that vibration of being greedy, Cuffy, you're gonna attract a greedy soul in your circle. She's just like y'all. She's cutthroat, but she's a female. And she got that power of that pussy. And they say that she got out this whole couple, they say $200,000. No, we know she got more than that. We know the shorty got more than come on, my nigga. Don't try to lightweight now. You know the shorty got more than 200 bands. She probably got that on a light day. You know what I mean? Like, come on, for real. You can look at, she's well kept. You can look at the diamonds and shit on her hand and the jewelry and how she ride around and see these premieres and all that. She up. God damn, you ain't never seen no budding producer walk around and let's keep reading, right? Let's keep reading. Yo, she up, you know what I mean? I say shit. She's the poster child for fucking dope boys. You know what I'm saying? Second, the affidavit asserts facts relating both to Tammy's reliability as an informant and measures DEA St. Louis investigators took to corroborate information provided by Tammy. As to Tammy's reliability, the affidavit attests that Tammy was cooperating with the DEA for monetary gain. Let's read it again. As to CS1's reliability, the affidavit attested that Tammy, CS1, was cooperating with the DEA for quote-unquote for monetary gain and had been shown to provide reliable information to DEA regarding a multitude of felonious activity. That's a quote-unquote. So she giving some shit up for paper. She's greedy. Look how that universe do it. You giving up drugs for paper and you fucking up people's lives. And she giving up information for paper, fucking up people's lives. And look, the universe brought all y'all together. Look at that energy. Brought all y'all together.
Message.
Boy, it don't pay to be a guinea, do it? Because you get in that cell, you want to be black again. You want to be, you want to be righteous, and you want to be Dr. Martin Luther King. And I was like, no, nigga, you was Scarface on the street. You was Scarface. You see how that movie end? No, nigga, you was Nino Brown on the street. You see how that movie end? You was Carlito on the streets. Did you see how that movie end? Look, they don't even have dope boys run off in the sunset on movies. Nigga, how you gonna do it in real life? You just gonna out-slick the law all your life? Huh? Tammy was working with them people for money. She working with Meech, right? Then she see Fidel, and then she see Cuff. You know what she thought? Just another bag. I'm finna jam these niggas up. She don't need nobody. Listen, when the feds say she working for money, she not working to get dog out. Listen. This is how you know niggas don't use their own brain. Why would you get dog out and I got his life rights? I make money with this nigga in here. I'm making money with Meech in jail. And if you let me tell the story, this your brother V. If she could have jammed dog up, she would have, but he's the big fish. She's a big fit. Meech is the fish. She knows she got dog life rights. She can ride his out. She gonna make some paper. She gonna keep him safe. But the rest of you niggas is fucked. You a walking bag. Hey, check it out. There's a sister from Detroit. Her name is Tony. They call her the queen of BMF. Right? This is Terry. I don't know if this is Terry current old lady or ex old lady. I'm not sure. But you can look up Tony yourself. Tony said the first time that she came in contact with Tammy, Tammy was trying to jam her up. You know why Tammy's trying to jam her up? Tammy looking at everybody like a bag. Because the DEA she's for pay. And she's finna rat on everybody. $263 million went from the federal government, that's your and our tax dollars, to give informants. Nigga, that's an industry where I'm from. That means you can sit back and just be a snitch and tell and get your check. That's an industry where I'm from. All right, let's take a look at, let's keep going. The affidavit asserted facts relating to the suspected drug distribution conspiracy between DEMETRIUS FLENORY, Cuffy, Fidel. More specifically, the affidavit asserts that Meech was purported national leader of BMF drug trafficking organization and had been sentenced to 30 years of imprisonment for drug trafficking activities. The affidavit further asserted, based on information previously known to DEA St. Louis, Cuffy was a member of St. Louis BMF, was an associate of Meech, had quote-unquote substantial ties to multiple members in the BMF, had been indicted in the Eastern District of Missouri on drug trafficking charges and was sentenced to 120 months of incarceration for drug trafficking. That's what we talked about when dude got jammed up in 95. Dude got out in 2003, which is about right. 10 years. You only do 85% in the feds. So probably should have came home, because earlier he still can get points. You should have probably came home earlier than that. The affidavit asserted that based on information from Tammy and an independent investigation by DEA St. Louis agents, Fidel owned and operated a trucking company in California and had been investigated and or arrested without conviction for suspected drug trafficking in 2005 and 2009. In addition, the independent investigation by DEA St. Louis agents revealed 2 large quantity drug seizures from a truck operated by Fidel Trucking Company. Finally, the affidavit attested that, based on information Tammy provided to DEA Atlanta agents, Flannery and Fidel became associated while they were both locked up. Meech didn't know Fidel. He met Dog while they was in the can. For monetary gain, Meech arranged through Tammy for Fidel to provide cocaine in multiple kilos to Cuffy. Alright. What do Tammy see in that? Tammy sees a bag. She sees a bag. Meech already got his time. He got his time. He got a release date. And she finna eat for the next 20 years. Do you think she finna really do something to help Dog get out? No, that's why she fumbling all the information. She fumbling all the information because she's, in a weird kind of way, in my estimate, she's playing everybody. She's playing Meech. She's finna play Cuffy. She finna play Fidel. And she finna fuck around and play this agent. Because they're paying her. That's the hustle. She getting paid by 50 now. She hustling 50 now. She's underneath 50 like goddamn. You see, what's that informant that run around with Jay-Z? It's an informant running around with Jay-Z too. It's the Perez chick. And then, you know, this is just being real. Women don't get the blowback of being an informant like men do. Like, everything is surrounding Meech. Nobody's talking about Tammy for real. She's at the premiere still. She's at the premiere still. She's hanging out. She's a producer. So she getting the bag. She's in the game. She in network. She had met folks. I mean, she probably got a hand on all kind of different crazy projects. Intelligent, articulate. You know, it's what it is. Let's go to number 4. The affidavit asserted facts relating to contacts between Tammy, Cuffy, and Fidel in the year leading up to the events on August the 5th, 2012. Specifically, the affidavit asserted that total analysis of devices used by Fidel and Cuffy indicated that they were talking regularly since March 2012. Now the focus is on them. Let me go down to the part where Meech finds out. I think this is down by, let me see. Surveillance cameras, informants, undercover officers. No, that ain't it. August 15th, that ain't it. Hold on, it's further down here. Warren Top Gatling, that ain't it. Oh, this might be it. When Tammy became a DEA informant, Tammy was and had been a longtime friend and associate of Meech, right? And they got the evidence, blase, blase. Then it says Tammy held Meech's power of attorney and life rights with creative control. Paul, let me stop on that. See, check it out. This is how niggas be knowing who snitch. When they look at the paperwork and they be like CSI1, this would blow Tammy's cover right here. When it said CS1 held FLENORY's power of attorney and life rights with creative control. If you sit in a jail cell, you're like, damn, that's Tammy that got that. That's how they know. This is why we're using Tammy's name interchangeably with CS1. Now, CS2, who's the other informant, is sealed. Nobody know who that is. We know who CS1 is because only one person got the life rights. She stumbled up. Listen, check it out. When they filed the motion in 2015, right? This is Cuffy them lawyers. When they got this back, that's how they was able to put two and two together. That up until then, Meech didn't know. He don't know what the broad doing. He's still locked up. He don't know what. Shit, how much you know in the free world? You don't fucking know what's going on like that. You putting two and two niggas together to get money, but then they get jammed up. You don't know that's from some shit you fucking with till you found out later. And it's gonna say what happened when Meech found out later that she was involved, right? Okay, but we're gonna read it again. Specifically, Tammy held Meech's power of attorney and life rights with creative control, the right to tell and presumably sell Meech's life story for profit. Those rights, by Tammy's estimation, could be worth as much as $1 million. See, Meech is the big fish. Okay, now I gotta make this point real quick. See, there's no retirement policy for dope boys. When dope boys go to jail, when them niggas be in there 10 and 15 years, when they come out, they be fucked up. They don't have nothing. They have to start from the bottom. And then the world have changed. Everything in life moved on. The average dope boy that come out after 10, 15, and 20, he has absolutely nothing. There is no yellow brick road. There is no, ain't no niggas finna put some money on you, say get back on your feet. The streets is a myth. It doesn't happen. But Meech's story is so electrifying that his story is worth something because he is the representation of the big black mafia family that got drug trafficking over several states, and he's the flamboyant, very charismatic leader that, see, he can play that. He can always make money off that. But everybody underneath his organization ain't gonna be able to make money off that. She gonna always look out to protect Meech. She's eating off a lifestyle she never lived. And then, this guy's a charismatic kind of like guy. Like you hear Meech talk, he kind of like, even inmates, man, you get Terrence Gangsta Williams, he come out, he's like, damn, they're Meech in the motherfucking prison, running the prison, like niggas following, he's charismatic. We call it the spirit of influence on this platform. That's the spirit, you got the energy of influence on you. And people are put, whatever you say, whatever you do, two rappers can be side by side and say the same thing. You'll gravitate to one and not to the other. Two preachers can pretty much say the same thing. One will be a mega preacher and the other one not. It's not because of the words. One got the influence on him and the other one don't. Meech got it. Which also going to gravitate to him, jealousy. Jealousy, man. All this about Cuff doing all this about getting rights to the BMF series.
I click in to inform her about the movie, the progress that me and Louis Burrell, my man out of Oakland, was making on getting a budget. And when she clicked over, and all this is in court documents, she clicked over and told the feds, hey, wait up, there's Cuff on the other end. And when they heard Cuff, they lost their mind.
So they
and
tried,
said, fuck Dale.
Right.
And directed this toward me.
How long you been in there, Cuff?
Since 2013.
Okay.
So what ended up happening was, I pled to the conspiracy with Tammy Cowins, and there was 10 years for that, which I finished. And now I'm serving the 17 years. So this is what happened. Instead of me pleading to the murders, they let me plead to an invisible gun, homie.
And he's working on a lawyer to do this and do that. And he sent 50 of them, according to him, a cease to desist, the BMF thing. Well, that little shorty gonna get you out of there now, showing up, bro. She finna put them folks on you quick. Cause you trying to go after something that she got locked up. That's a woman. She looking at the situation like, shit, nigga, this my lick. You gonna find you another lick. Oh, you ain't. You trying to work on, cause Cuffy say he's calling shorty about the life rights thing, and next thing you know, the feds on him. No, you ain't finna call dog about this. You this her lick. This is her lick. Both Agent Harvey and Agent Cromer was aware of Tammy's relationship with Meech. Tammy testified that Meech was very well known, and it was not unusual for Tammy to receive calls from total strangers asking about Meech. It was due to Tammy's relationship with Meech that Tammy first came in contact with both Fidel and Cuffy. In September 2021, Meech requested Tammy's help for coordinating delivery of a load of cocaine to be controlled by Fidel, who at one point was already in contact with Tammy. Tammy's credibility testified that she first met Fidel by telephone when Fidel contacted her to ask how Meech was doing. Then everything began. Then they go back to the story. They met in jail, this, that, and the third, and the other. All right, now here go the part that we're going to get into right here. At the evidentiary hearing, Tammy denied that Meech had any involvement in any drug trafficking activities between Fidel and Cuffy, and denied that she ever informed DEA agents that he was ever involved. She's like, nah, that whole story about she put him together, they didn't move to work. She's like, nah, she never did that. She was like, this is shit that the agents inserted into that to break up the relationship that she had with Meech. Because Meech is still the big fish. And even though Dog is in jail, if he's doing funny style shit, they can still hit homes with a 21 USC 848. That's a continuation of running a criminal enterprise. If you are continuing a criminal enterprise, you're going to get fucked. You just can't be in jail putting niggas together to make plays and shit like that. That shit ain't going to work. But she was like, nah, I never did that. This is the point of the paperwork that she said, yo, agents are adding shit into, and then she later says that, hey, yo, listen, if y'all don't get this shit straight, I'm going to tell everybody about what's really going on in her particular affidavit. Like, I'm just going to blow the whistle on everything. And then that's when a lot of shit got some, they throw some cold water on it. Now, here's the part in which Meech found out. Right? We on page 15. In March 2015, Tammy reviewed the electronic docket in this case and saw information contained in Cuffy suppression motion and responsive submissions by the United States that Tammy believed would potentially allow people familiar with the circumstances to determine her identity. 2015 in March. Now, she's looking at what's going on with Cuffy's lawyer, what he got. And now, as we all know, in the paperwork, it just got CS1. But it's certain things that they know. Damn, I did this with this me calling Fidel and this. Man, I did this shit with I did this with Tammy. Now, Tammy, the whistle is blown. Now she knows they can put two and two together. Right? All right. Upon reviewing the court filings in this case, Tammy contacted her controlling DEA agent at the time, James Davison. Agent Davison testified at the evidentiary hearing that Tammy expressed concern that motions found in this case and the government's response to these motions contain specific detailed information that Tammy feared would reveal her identity or make it much easier for someone to figure out Tammy's identity, right? Then it says Tammy's panicked and took several measures to protect herself. Those measures included contacting magistrate judge whose chambers referred Tammy to the United States Attorney's Office, and driving several hours to Louisiana soon after learning about the court filings to attempt to see Meech to try to explain her position and try to deflect any accusations coming Tammy's way. Now, she's trying to get ahead of it now. In March 2015, when she read that paperwork, which is probably discovery, and now Cuffy and them everybody got it. St. Louis got it, Atlanta got it. All these niggas can look at the paperwork and be like, yo, I did that with Shorty. Now, her thing was running to the judge, but the judge blew off like, hey, you need to go to the United States Attorney's Office. Now she's gonna get it. She's running to get to Meech to head it off, so she can get ahead of it, because she knows that it's going to flow through the prison systems first. If you doing some funny shit, it's coming through the prisons first. So she's running to Meech to explain her position. Now, although it appears that Tammy did not speak with Meech in Louisiana on March 6th, Tammy's hearing testimony suggests when Tammy did finally speak with Meech, he advised her he didn't want his name called up in none of this mess. Bitch, you on your own. You on your own. I ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on. That other shit you doing being greedy, bitch, I ain't got you. I'll fuck with you behind this. This other shit about you snitching, that's on you. You doing that shit on your own to get money from the DA. You doing that shit on your own. And Meech probably thinking like, damn, bitch, I put you on the liquid. You got the life rights. What is you doing? Young man, young woman, if you follow the podcast all the way through, get out the game. It's not for you. It's for guineas. There's nothing righteous about being in the street. Death in jail is in the street. There's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dope boys. Only one that we know got a TV series deal. You won't get a TV series deal. You ain't gonna get it. Denzel is not gonna come out and play your role in a movie. He's not gonna come out and play your role in the movie. Lil Meech ain't gonna come out and play your role in a movie. You're gonna go to jail and you're gonna miss your family. Folks gonna tell you what to do. It's dangerous in there. You're gonna miss every single holiday. And you're gonna wish you just applied yourself in those books. And again, there is no honor amongst thieves, dope boys, which is poison dealers. None of that. And at the end of it all, you're going to attract the energy that's like yourself. So Tammy is not even in the clear. So it looks like to us, Meech is guilty of appointing a person in a position that was not qualified for it, but at the same time, she was qualified for that position spiritually because she had the spirit of greed in her. And dope boy niggas got the spirit of greed in them. And Big Mama was never wrong when she said, you reap what you sow. And she said, what goes around, it's going to come right back around. Peace and black power to your family. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. This Real Black Content Form podcast. Stay free. Stay righteous. Until next time, peace, peace, beloved. Stay in peace.
Thanks for listening. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Google, Anchor, Spotify, and Facebook. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment on the podcast. Your opinion of what you just heard is important to the platform. So yes, beloved, your comments are the engine and fuel to the machine. Stay blessed and have a powerful day.